Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I know, yesterday, I didn't post on Monday, did I? So I did that folio yesterday. And I said I would make it up to you that I didn't post on Monday. I didn't post on Friday either, but we came back from the Isle of Wight on Thursday and washing and tidying up the house because teenagers say no more. But yeah, this video is... I'm so excited. It is so cool. It's definitely not going to be 2 hours long. It might not even be an hour long. We're having a play. So when I was younger, when I was about 6, 7, 8 years old in primary school, I used to I was very arty, crafty, always was, always have been. I used to make flowers out of toilet roll paper and stuff like that. Anything I could get my hands on that I could make something with, I used to. So when I was at school, I used to do batiking and drawing and painting and all those. But one of my favourite things to do was to marble paper with 2 simple ingredients that everybody has in their home. And I have been watching some videos because I was trying to see if anyone else had done what I used to do in primary school. I don't know if anybody else used to do this. Potentially, there is some people out there in the UK that used to do this in primary school because it was kind of a thing. So leave me a comment below and let me know if you used to do this in primary school as well. So literally, there's not a video out there. Not a video that you don't need to buy some alum, or you don't need to prep the paper or do starch water or use shaving foam and stuff. I mean, and they're all really good techniques, but there's some of them out there that are just really complicated. And sometimes you're just like, I want to marble papers. I really don't want to prep paper and prep water and blah, blah, blah. So the way that I used to do it is literally 2 things that you would have in your home: water and vinegar. I don't know the difference between malt vinegar and distilled vinegar. So with these ones, I used just distilled vinegar. Pickling vinegar, just distilled vinegar. And some water. That's it. Literally, that's it. And to make the colours, alcohol inks. And I also did a little test with some of the acrylic inks, and they do work, but I'll show you the difference in a bit. Distress sprays don't work. They don't work, unfortunately. I think they possibly would if you use the starch to thicken up the water, because then they'd sit on top. I'm not too sure about the distress inks. We're going to test those in this video. So I've got these, and I've got some others up there as well, some browns and stuff up there. So yeah, we're going to try those because they are still inks, but I'm not too sure if they'd work. So look at these papers. This is my first try after, let's say I was 7 years old, 40 years. I haven't done this for 40 years. So yeah, look at those. They're so cool. I love them. I love them so much. Then this was my second attempt. I just think they're so cool. I really do think they're so cool. And then, and these are air pockets. I'm really not bothered about the air pockets at all. But look at that. I mean, come on. Look at that swirling around there, because I did use the picket fence re-inker. So this, even though it's an ink, it's not an alcohol ink, and it did sink to the bottom. But what I did is I just got a little brush and I just kind of swirled it and disturbed it, and some of it raised to the top. So that was, yeah, that you can see it kind of round there, and you can see it round here as well. So that was just like really cool. But then look at this. I mean, are you kidding me? How absolutely cool is that? Isn't it delicious? And they, after the first couple, when you start to find your feet, then there's just no stopping you. I did loads, and I was only playing for like 20 minutes. Look at that one. And this is the one where I used the acrylic inks. So as you can see, they did sit on top of the water, but they didn't blend. This is alcohol ink, these yellow, this is alcohol ink. So this is where it swirls and it reacts with the vinegar and the water, and it just sits there, whereas the acrylic inks didn't. But I still love that effect. I still think that looks really, really cool. And then I just wanted to get up some of the rest of the alcohol ink, the acrylic inks that were sitting on top. So I just put in some light grey alcohol ink and mopped them all up. This is the one that I did the distress spray. So it did work, but it didn't. It didn't. And this was picking up some of the alcohol ink that was left over as well. So yeah, but look at this one. So this one, I thought I'd go a step further, and this one I used even though this is alcohol ink, with black, it's a dense colour, so it didn't sort of like spread like the others did, like the oregano and the flannel and stuff like that. But then I also used an alloy. If you can see you see that shimmer? And it's just, I just put it in. And there's some, can you see that? Can you see that shimmer? I hope you can see it. How cool is that? And then this was a mop-up. So this is just putting it in there. As you can see, it's very, very similar. So yeah, you can also get secondary prints as well. But how cool are they? I mean, come on. And I didn't even make any patterns in the alcohol ink. I literally just was dropping it in the water and just sort of like, sometimes I was swirling it round, sometimes I wasn't. So we are going to have a proper experiment and play today. So get your alcohol inks, get a big baking tray or just a tray, something that you can fit a size A4 or letter size piece of paper in, because you want about 1 inch worth of water. And then just sort of like, I didn't measure, I just squirted in some vinegar until I was like, is that enough? Yeah, okay. If I didn't feel like it was enough, I put a little bit more in. But yeah, and this is just copy paper. That's all this is. This is actually, let me get it up. So this is navigator paper. It is AEGMS. It's Silky Touch Ultra Bright. So yeah, this is the one that I'm using, but you can just use, I got this from Tesco's supermarket here in the UK, but you can just use normal copy paper, just bog standard copy paper. So yeah, get your bits out and let's get crafting. Right, so I've got my pan, and I'm not too sure how big this pan is, but it does perfectly, with a bit of space, fit a nice A4 sheet of paper in. I've panned the camera right out just because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. So there's a few things that we are going to test out today. First off, we're going to do the water and vinegar and the alcohol inks, but I've also brought out some soap. Dish soap is going to do anything, because I think that will be interesting to see if that works as well. Even if it's, you know, like what some people do with when they blow the bubbles in the water with the dish soap, put a bit of ink in it and stuff like that. Give that a go. Or I just want to see if dish soap works and helps it sort of like, because we want the ink to stay on top of the water, which is why we put the vinegar in it. So I want to see what the difference is with dish soap. I've also got some of my I've got Faber-Castell and Winsor Newton calligraphy ink in the black and the sepia, so I want to see if they work, because this does this marbling paper dates back to like so long ago in Japan, and they do this amazing technique with the dish soap. It forms a circle, then the dish soap, then the ink, then the dish soap, then the ink, and then they kind of like weave things through it. That just makes the most amazing patterns. It's so interesting to do, to see. So yeah, the Faber-Castell ink sits on top. We might be able to see if that works. So much fun. Right, so let's get started. Right, so I've also just picked up a couple more tools. I've got some kebab skewers as well. You can use toothpicks if you want, but I've got some kebab skewers, and I've got a straw, because yeah, I used to love doing that when I was little. So I've got some water. Don't worry, it's not smart water. It's tap water. I just refilled the bottle, so I'm just going to put enough to cover the bottom, so I don't want no gaps like that. I think my table's wonky. Let's put in a little bit more. That should do it. That should do it. And I do think I'm just gonna lift up this tray with a bit of tissue. That's better. That's evened it out. I think my desk is wonky. I can't have screwed one of the legs in properly. So then I'm just going to take the distilled water, and I'm just going to go just like that. Just like that. And then I'm going to get my paintbrush and just mix it round. And you can, if you want to, you can Google it and you can measure your stuff out. You do you. Absolutely, you do you. I don't think you need to. You've seen my results. I didn't. So, yeah. It's entirely your choice. So, what we're going to do first is I'm just going to get some of my favourite colours. I've got Latte Chronicle, Caramel, and maybe a bit of Flannel as well. Now, bear in mind, it's going to look really pale. It's going to look really pale, as you can see. So I'm just going to drop, just randomly, and you're going to look at it and think, that hasn't done anything. Like, where is the ink? And you can kind of see it. Can you see it sitting on top? So you can kind of see it sitting on top. But don't think, oh, I need more, I can't see it, because you don't. Because especially with the ones like the greys, and when you put it inside the other colour, it pushes it out, and it's almost, it's so cool. So let's do a bit of Chronicle. And then a bit of Latte. And do you know what I love about this is you just don't know what you're going to get until you pull the paper. Right, so we could just leave it like that. Leave it like that, and you could just do a straight pull from it and it would look amazing. But I'm just gonna and it may look like it's not doing anything, but it is. Right, then I'm going to get a sheet of paper and I'm just going to lay it on the top. Not dunk it in, I'm just going to lay it on the top. Now the corners will curl up. All I do is just take a paintbrush and just press it down like that. Can you see where it's come over the edge? Now you can do this any way you want. You can slide it under the water and pull it out if you want to. That is entirely up to you. This is just the way that I do it. Right, are you ready? Are you ready? You can leave it in there as long as you like as well. Well, within reason, because the paper will fall apart. So let me just drip some of the water off, and then look at that. How cool is that? Isn't it so cool? So I'm just going to put this aside to dry, because I've got a little drying station over here. And do you remember the A3 paper that I had? You could do some with that. And now I am going to test, I'm going to test the Schwartz Black Faber-Castell ink. So if you've got any pipettes, I brought a load, a big box of them off of Amazon. They weren't expensive at all. Yeah, just like pipettes. You don't need them. You can just take a brush and drop it in. But I just want to see if this works, because the black alcohol ink didn't. It just sort of like went all bitty. Yeah, like that. See, it's sinking. But that's fine. I'll show you what to do with that. So let's get rid of that. That's fine, that's fine. Now I'm going to take the caramel again, because we all know this is my favourite colour. And I'm just, can you see what it's doing? And then I'm going to get the grey, which is gravel. Because again, it's my favourite colour. And just put a couple of drops in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my skewer, and I'm just going to just lightly disturb the ink. Just move it round, because some of it will float to the top. And then let's see what we get with this. So again, just lay it on top. Push the corners down, because paper when it's wet will naturally curl. Just tap it, and sometimes you can get rid of the air bubbles. I'm not bothered. I quite like the air bubbles, the pockets, to be honest, with the bits of white on. I think they look cool. So right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let me just move my alcohol inks over here. I'm going to turn my tray sideways and then get my drying station up, so that I can lay them down and we can have a proper look at them. Right, so I've got my Tim Holtz glass mat and just some kitchen roll, and I've laid it out. So now let's lift this up and see what we've got. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Ain't that cool? Ain't that so cool? I mean, should we try and get a secondary print as well? Yeah. Right, I'm going to get a secondary print, but I'm going to add one more colour. I'm going to add rust and just see. What we get. And this time I'm going to use my straw, and I'm just going to lightly blow it round, and then take a sheet of paper. Oh, that moved, but that's fine. Push down the corners. Slide it over. And while this is laying there, I'm just gonna mop up some of the excess water, and then I'm going to lay this on the drying station too. And then let's take this out and have a look at this. Are we ready? Oh wow. Oh Look at that. And that's just one colour. I mean, look at the swirls because I blew it. Oh my goodness. Right, so I'm going to do butterscotch. And I'm going to watch where I'm putting the drops because, oh, that was a bit much. You only want one drop at a time. And then I want the oregano because this is just gorgeous. And I want to drop the oregano inside where I dropped the butterscotch. And then I'm going to sorry if my head was in there then. And then I'm just going to get another piece of paper. Honestly, you could sit here and do this for hours. This is just so much fun. Lay the paper down. Push the corners down. Oh, this one's curling up, but that's fine because you just push them down. Even if you have to just tap them under the water, like this one went a little bit too far under the water, but that's absolutely fine. And then I'm just gonna take the excess water off of here and put this on the drying station. And then take this out. You ready? Are you ready? Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I absolutely love that oregano. That is so summery. Oh, just let me... And it's not even dried yet. Can you see that? I'll show you again once I've dried them. Right, let's do another one. Let's do another one. What shall we do? Let's do some blues. So I've got slate, and I've got clover, and I've got oregano, and I've got eggplant, and aquamarine. Excuse me. Now, I don't know if I'm going to use them all. Let's do a couple of drops. Oh, in fact, let's do slate. I think I might want a bit more aquamarine. Just a touch like that. Let's put a teeny weeny bit. I don't know what that was, but the dogs didn't appreciate it. If I can get in clover, we'll put some clover in. Some of these inks are like really old. No, I can't get in it. It's gonna hurt me. So let's instead put in a bit of Chronicle because that's still quite greeny grey. There we go. Right, now, shall we blow this? I've got a funny feeling, this one, and I know what you're thinking, Toni's doing colour. Yep, I am. Just push the edges down. Oh, this is going to look so cool. And we'll do the other version as well, where we slide it under the water and pick up the ink. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Are you ready for this? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Look at the Chronicle. How it's gone like a yellowy colour. Oh, wow. And the eggplant looks almost like a grey purple. And I love the aquamarine. I mean, when you look at it, let me get, where is it? Where's it gone? It's so much brighter. Oh, wow. How cool is that? That is so cool. I'm going to do a pink, red and grey as well, because I got these. And I do have a large bottle of the white and the black as well. But the white and the black doesn't work. We will gumball, so we're going to give those a go as well. So let me put this, let me just mop up and then put this at the drying station. I mean, look at that. Are you kidding me? How absolutely gorgeous is that? Ah, I just screwed it up. Right, now I'm going to put in the gumball first because I'm thinking that the red is going to be a little bit overpowering. Oh, this is going to be so bright. That is going to be so bright. And then the crimson. And then I'm going to use gravel. Put some around the edge and in the middle. Give it a little right, are we ready? This is a first for me. You know, I love my beige. And I don't mind blue. I don't mind blue. And strangely enough, pink is my favourite colour in the real world. Yeah, pink is my favourite colour. Pink and red. I love pink and red. But in crafting, it just isn't. I don't know why. I really don't know why. It's the grunge. I need the grunge. To take this out, and we can do a secondary print as well because I can still see loads around the edge. Right, right. Are we ready? Are we ready? I'm still picking up some of the blues and some of the greys. No way. Are you ready? Wow. I didn't expect to get some of the gravel. I put in the gravel, didn't I? But some of the aquamarine, look, around the edges. I didn't expect all around here, look. I didn't expect to get that. That is super cool, though. That is super cool. Right, so I got here flamingo. I'm going to put that in. And I think I'm going to put in some of the Chronicle. As well. And this time I'm just going to take my skewer and I'm just going to go up and down like that, and we'll see what we get with that. Let me just mop this up and put this with the drying ones. Look at that. What do we think? Put that down there. Let's get another sheet. This is what I love about it, is you never know what you're going to get. Right, let me get my brush because it's curling up. So just push the corners down. And you kind of know when it's ready to pull, because that you kind of get like a mottled, can you see that? Like a mottled effect on the paper. Right, are we ready? Oh my God, this is like candy heaven. Look at that. That is beautiful. Right, so what I want to do is I want to take a piece of paper and I just want to see what we get. Right, so nothing really. Nothing really. Right. That's okay. Don't worry. I'm going to keep this bit of paper. I've got alcohol ink all over me. I keep all my scraps because I'm going to make some handmade paper. So I'm going to put that up there and I'm going to keep my scraps. Yeah. Handmade paper with your scraps. I know. So many ideas. So much fun. This is, I mean, even though the water's turned a bit pink, you just saw that piece of paper. It's not going to make any difference on the next ones we're going to do. So I'm just going to get some more kitchen roll and just mop up the excess. Oh, look at that. And it's even picked up. It's a lot like jelly printing. So, you know, like when you do a secondary for jelly print and you pick up all the gunge around the edge. That is my favourite parts. Right, so I want to do, let's do ginger. I want to do a real dark browny one. And I'm going to try the Winsor Newton calligraphy ink in sepia. And we'll see if this... No, this is just going to go... This is just going to go bitty, which is absolutely fine with me. Because I'll show you what I mean about I mean, it is sitting on the top. But I want this one to be like really brown. So that was the rust. And now I've got the ginger. And then I think I'm going to go in with a little bit of caramel. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my skewer and wherever the brown ink is, I'm just going to, it's kind of like I'm mixing it up. Can you see that? It has gone bitty, but this kind of leaves a mottled effect on it. It's quite cool. Right, so let's get a sheet of paper and see what we get with this one. It's so exciting. It's so exciting not knowing what you're going to get. Right, are we ready to pull out? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Did you hear my stomach just then? Look. Oh my goodness. Apart from this big blob of ink, which I'm just going to remove because I think that's the vinegar reacting with the ink. But look at that. Oh That is just so cool. Right, so now we're going to try, make sure that my tray's in shot. We're going to do the dish soap. So I'm going to put some, I'm just going to squeeze. I don't know what's going to happen because there's vinegar in this water. So I'm just going to squeeze and mix it round. I might need a bit more, I don't know. And then we're just going to put some ink in. It has a different reaction with the... Let's see if it will do something with the acrylic inks. No, it goes even... Yeah, these just go straight to the bottom, so I'm not going to do that. Right, let's have a bit of gravel. See how this turns out. And then what I'm going to do is... Right, so I'm going to blow some bubbles in it and then I'll... Right, I think we've got enough bubbles and they're popping. So I'm going to put a piece of paper in, toot sweet, and see what we get. I don't know what this is going to do. Right, so I can already see that we've had a bit of a reaction. But I don't know how the colours are going to go. Are we ready? Ah, no colours. So that didn't work. There's no colours. Right, well, that was a fail, but we know. Now we know. So let's just mop that up. I'm wondering if... Let's do a bit of mixing it round and then lay it back down. See if it takes any of the ink, because I think the ink, oh, there's a little bit. I think the ink is just, it's just sinking because of the dish soap. So, right, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That was a fail experiment, but now we know. So, no fish soap. It's just vinegar. Just vinegar. That's what we've been getting major results with. So, I'm going to clean all this out. I'm going to dry the papers, and then we'll go through what we've made. Right, so I've cleaned the tray out. I also just want to do one more experiment. I want to see what happens without the vinegar. So I'm only going to put a smidge in, and I want to see I hate the way my alcohol inks, man, they leak. Right, so this is just water. So let's see. Because if you can do it even without the vinegar, that's even better. I'm going to use a bit of eggplant because I did like that colour. Oh, look at that. Right, and now we want a bit of ginger. And I know we've got a big pocket here that's not got... There you go. This one is gravel. Right, so now we're going to do a swirl. So I'm literally just going to go... Doo, doo, doo. up and down as well. There we go. Right, let's get a bit of paper and see what we get with just water, because if you can do it with just one ingredient, that's just so cool, because then you don't need all these prepping the water and prepping the paper, and it's just wonder what we're gonna get. Are you ready? We don't need a vinegar. Are you ready for this? You don't need vinegar. You 100% do not need vinegar. And I can still see some alcohol ink. So I'm going to get another piece of paper and see what kind of secondary print we get by moving it around. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to take up puddles. Oh, look at that print. Look at that print. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my goodness. It's just so cool. Right, let's see what secondary we get. It's so faint, but it is so cool. Can you see that? Just a little bit of the swirl. Oh, I love that. I do, I love that. Just turn it over and tap some of the water off. And we don't need to use vinegar, which is so cool. That's so cool. I tell you what I did like. I like the flamingo. And I want to do... We're only going to do a couple more and then I'll dry them and then we'll go through. So put in some flamingo. I definitely want some gravel. And what else have I got? What else haven't I used yet? Oh, we've got mushroom. We've got hazelnut. Hazelnut comes out a little bit pinky. Let's put in a little bit of the alloy in statue. And you'll notice this, look, that's what it does. It does sit on top. But it just kind of just sits there. Should we put, I can't get in the clover, and I really want to try the clover, but it won't open. Let's try the sepia. We haven't had that yet. Let's put a bit of the sepia inside. And then maybe a bit of mushroom as well. Oh, what's that going to look like? And then we're going to blow it. Right, are we ready? We need to make sure that we've got that bit. I think it's because, oh, it's because the tissue came out from the back, so it wasn't. Right, are we ready? I'm so nervous. I don't know why. Excited, nervous. All these colours. I bet you're sitting there going, Toni, what is wrong with you? Are you feeling okay? I am. I'm having fun. All right, let's get our brush and just poke down the corners. I know there's a bit of an air pocket there because I can see it. Right, are we ready? Oh my Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I can see that water puddling there. Isn't that just stunning? Oh, wow. Look at the mottled from the statue. Right, so I'm going to have a look and see what these do. This is salvage patina. I think these are quite heavy. But it's worth a go. Let me just open this because this is prized ribbon. I've never opened it before. All right, I think that's enough. And then we're just gonna just see what I mean by you just disturb it because it rests on the bottom. So if you just disturb it, I mean, look at that already. That just looks so cool. Right, let's move this bit so we can put it at the, oh, just need to, there was a big dribble of water on that then. Right, so now I am going to put another colour with it, and I think it's going to be mushroom. Right, are we ready? Let's see how these work. Hopefully they will. Hopefully they haven't sunk. Anxiety. I've got a funny feeling that we're just going to pick up the gravel colour. Was it gravel? Mushroom. But you never know. You never know. Right, are we ready? Yeah. Yeah, it's just sunk. It's picked up the gravel and some of the other alcohol links that we did in the previous one. So these they've just laid on the bottom, so they don't work. So that's cool. We know that now. So distress, no. Let's put a bit of vinegar in and see if it lifts them. See if it brings them to the top. And let's just... Oh, I just wanted to see if that would... No, that's not worked either. So it's just changed the colour of the water, which is absolutely fine. Right, so... Oh, you gotta be an octopus. Right, let's get rid of that one. Oh, we've got so many. And then we're going to lay this one down and just dab it off. And then let's put some more colours in. I do love this oregano. Oregano latte. Bum, 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 bum. Let's put in some slate. And then just for a pop of colour, caramel. Right, so let's blow them around and let's put this back in and see if it picks it up. I think we'll go the other way. Let's pull that out. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. With the blue in the background, look at that. So it's picked, because the distress ink has changed the colour of the water. Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. Right, so now, excuse me, I'm going to have a big tidy up, dry the papers off, and then I'll be back. I'm done. I've ironed and I've dried. And look. Oh, how gorgeous is that? I mean, look. Isn't it delicious? I just love it. Absolutely love it. This is the one that we did where after we used the distress. So it had actually, it dyed the paper blue, which I don't mind because, oh, I mean, look at the grunge. Oh, isn't it just delicious? I love it. I absolutely love it. This was a mop-up, but I just put in a little bit of the gravel ink. And yeah, you can kind of see, it was a mop-up from this, because you can kind of see the pinks and the blues in the background and that. And there's some of the caramel. Yeah, there's little specks. Can you see the little specks of the caramel? And some of the blue and the pink. And oh, it's just, I like that one. This one, I mean, can I just say, are you kidding me? Look at this. Look at this. Oh my goodness. How beautiful is that? Here's another one of the mop-ups. And I think this was a mop-up as well, with some added pinks in. But that's still cool. Still cool. This one, I mean, look at it. Should we just have a minute's silence? It reminds me of something Versace. Like a Versace shirt or the bedding or his curtains. It just reminds me Versace. I don't know why. I just absolutely love it. It is. I mean, look at all the speckled bits and the different colours. Oh, isn't it just delicious? This is my favourite. This is definitely my favourite. And then we've got the oregano with the butterscotch. How cool is that? And I do love this one as well. This is the gravel and the caramel. That's just so cool. Look at the swirl. And then we've got this. And this is, woo, in your face. But I do like it. I'll probably never use it. But I do like it. Yeah. I do love this one though. This one is cool. I think this one is lovely. With the slate and the aquamarine. Yeah, I really do like that one. And I think there's a bit of gravel in the background as well. I think that one is really, really cool. And this one is just, I think this is just the rust on its own. But again, it just doing it on its own is just so cool. And then we've got this one. And this one is cool as well. I just love them. I absolutely love them. How cool and how easy is that? If you've got some alcohol inks and some, I mean, we've just realised, look at all we've got. Look at all we've made in like a morning of fun. How just absolutely stunning are they? And they're just going to make awesome projects, aren't they? You know, cover your journals in it. These would be awesome as the liner. You know, when you make a journal, these could go on the inside before you put your signatures on. These would look really cool as that. Definitely look really cool as that. Look, he's barking at the neighbour's dog. You think he'd be used to them by now. He's been here 3 years, but he's not. He's like, play with me. Hello, hello, play with me. But yeah. So much fun. This was so much fun. And we've realised that we don't even need vinegar. We can pull inks out of water because it just sits on top of water, which is just amazing. However, I do like, I would definitely advise to try both. Try just the water and try it with the distilled vinegar as well, because you do get different results. Like the blending and stuff like that is a lot easier with the vinegar. So yeah, if you do give this a go, don't forget to tag me in social media. I'd love to see what you make, definitely, because this is just so much fun. So much fun. And when you think about it, because, you know, when you're looking through your papers and everything, you're like, oh, I really want papers this colour and this colour and this colour, and then you haven't got any, make some to match the project that you're doing. Winning. So cool. So cool. I just had so much fun, and something tells me that I'm going to be doing this a lot, an absolute lot. I mean, like I said, look at all those papers. How cool are they? I might even do a digital kit. Shall I do a digital kit? I might. Yes, I might. Alright, so thank you everybody for being here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've got any questions, leave a comment down below. And everything you need, all the links and everything are in the description box. And I will see you next time. Happy crafting, everybody, and take care. Bye.